Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome to Draw 2. My name's Ramny and this is another episode of Mini How to Draw, the show where I show you how to draw your favorite characters in easy to follow, simple step-by-step instructions. If you guys like what you see on this channel and you want to see more tutorial videos like this, please hit that subscribe button down below. It would help me a great deal. For this tutorial, as usual, what you guys need is a pencil, an eraser, any type of white paper, and black ink pens with different size nibs for inking afterwards. And of course, as you're watching this tutorial, remember that you can hit that pause button at any time so that you guys can pause the video and catch up on your drawings. We all draw at different speeds, so find a pace that works for you and stick to it. And also, if your artwork looks a little different than mine, that is completely fine as well. So having said all of that, you guys, grab your drawing tools and let's get started with the tutorial. Alright you guys, so to get started with Boba Fett, what we're going to do is have our paper in portrait mode this time around, and I'm only going to be drawing pretty much just up to his waist. We're going to start by drawing his helmet kind of in the center of the page. So let's get started. I'm going to move it slightly to the right because we're going to make room for the hand and the rifle on this side. So let's get started with that. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just draw a half circle at the top. So that's going to be the top half of the head. And then from the half circle, I'm going to draw two lines going down like that. So instead of drawing a circle like I normally do, this is probably a better way to go about drawing Boba Fett's helmet. So here's our U shape, upside down U. What I'm going to do now is find a point here, and then I'm going to find a center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line that's going to be closer to the right side, right here. And that's going to be my center line. And I'm going to round it right there. So he'll be looking to the right, okay? So I bring the center line a little bit lower than this point, these points, right around here, and I draw about that wide a line going across. Okay, now from here, draw a diagonal line. Here we're going to draw a slight little line like this, and then a line like this. Okay, so that's what it should look like. That's what the helmet's going to look like. Right here we're going to draw a neck, so it should draw a little line going down like this, and then I'm going to draw a line going across. This is going to be for the shoulder. And the shoulder is going to run like a straight line, just going across like this. Okay, here's the other side of the neck. I'm going to bring that down and then curve it like this. This one's kind of curved like that as well. And it goes like that. Okay, so now, okay, let's look over here. About this far, we're going to start to curve it down. That's where we want the shoulder to go. And then right here, about this far, and then we're going to curve it this way. Okay, and then right around here, find a spot there. And maybe about here, we're going to just start shaping that chest. Let's actually make it a straighter line for now, like that. And then here to there, you notice how it sort of narrows as you go down? That's how we want it. And you'll notice that the head is a little too big, but that's okay because he's wearing a helmet, and that helmet, imagine it like it's like a motorcycle helmet where it makes your head look big compared to your body. But that's normal for Boba Fett. Okay, so right here we're going to draw the arm kind of going out like this, and from here kind of going out like this as well. So here's the arm right there, and right here we're going to find the armpit. We're going to draw this going down this way. We're going to find maybe the elbow right around here, bring that down, and then it goes down to there. And let's leave that for now. And now let's go back over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find the forearm. Sorry, I'm not thinking right now though. It's too early in the morning for me. Okay, so here's the forearm right there. Make that shape. So you want it to kind of go straight. So we bend this arm, you bend the top of the arm, and then you want the forearm to pretty much go straight up. Okay, to about there. And then let's figure out where we're going to put the hand. The hand is going to be, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle. Hand is going to be right there. It's going to be holding that rifle. And let's see where the rifle is going to go. The rifle should go, okay, from here, what we're going to find a spot about this far, and we're going to bring that as a straight line going straight up. Okay. Cut it off right here, and it sort of goes into the hand like that. And then this goes down, and just above the shoulder, it kind of goes like this. And then we're going to bring it all the way straight down underneath, just underneath the arm. Okay, let me move it excuse me, let me move it more to the right. We're going to make some room for the, I guess, to give it a little bit more room, like that. And this goes diagonal right here, and then straight again. And then from here, we're going to bring it to here, and it gets narrow, like that. Okay, and then right here, just goes straight up. See this little point I made, that little line right here as well. And this just goes, kind of goes straight, and then goes this way. So you want to make sure that you have this little spot right here. It looks like this, okay? And then here, we'll just leave that going straight up again. So you notice that the rifle, or the gun, kind of goes down this way, and then goes this way above the head, and then goes straight down again, and it gets narrow, and then it goes down this way, and then here goes diagonal, and then over here, we close it off like that. Okay, so that's what that looks like right there. And that's pretty much the basic shape for Boba Fett. We can get started, to be honest. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me zoom in on the face, and of course you want to get that helmet right, because it isn't Boba Fett without that helmet. So let's get started with that. I'm going to draw a line going across, fairly straight, right around here. And then right here he's going to have a little antenna for, I believe it's called his range finder. So let's draw a line going straight down that side. It goes above the eye line, and then it sort of curves out like that past the helmet. But let's leave that for now. Let's worry about this line. Let's draw another line underneath, going across like this. And then right here and right here, we're going to find 2 points. And then here, we're going to draw one little line going down. And then same thing over here, one tiny little line going down on that side. And then from that line, I bring it to these 2 points like this. And it should go from narrow, and as you get to the center, it gets wider. Just like that, but not too wide. Don't make it too wide. Okay, from here, 2 lines going straight down. You want to make sure that those lines are equal in distance from the center line that we did. So once you have that, you have a letter T that gets narrower at the tips. All right, now find a spot here and here, and then a spot here and here. Okay, these 2 spots should be where the straightness of the chin end at those 2 spots. And then what we're going to do is we're going to curve. It sort of goes straight down here, and it makes this curve to that point. Okay, same thing here. Here's that curve, and it goes straight down. Make sure that those curves look the same on both sides. Nothing, yeah, you want to try to make those look correct in comparison to each other, but also being mindful of the fact that this is shorter than this. Okay, right here I'm going to draw another line, actually, and then I'm just going to extend that so that gives it a depth. All right, now we've got these 2. These are the cheeks, I'd call them, I guess. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a tiny little line like this, and then I'm going to draw a curve going up from here to here. So here, I bring this up, and then it goes down to there. Okay, and then I just readjust this line right here, so it looks like that, looks like this, and it goes off to the side like that. Okay, then I do the same thing here. From here, just a tiny little line, and then bring it up. Okay, so here you want to make sure that the distance between the top, or this line to this, should be the same as here. So this distance you want to make sure is the same as this distance. So you do that, but this time around it goes all the way down over here to this point. Of course, the way that this is angled, you don't see it, but here you do. Okay, and then there's a little rivet right here, so I'm going to draw a circle, and then a half moon right beside it. Okay, and then on the edge of Boba Fett's helmet, let me just fix that up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reshape that helmet, bring it in slightly, just reshape it slightly. I'm going to give him a much flatter top, so it's not too rounded. So that looks like that. And then here, a little diagonal line, and then a line that's parallel to this. And then as you reach the bottom, kind of sticks out again, a lot more flat. So that's what that looks like. Okay, I would shade this in. And then right here, I guess you can draw this, like an indent, because that goes in very faintly. Just goes in like that. All right, now let's focus on that little antenna and rangefinder on the side. I'm going to erase this side. Okay, right just above this line right here, this point right here, I'm going to draw a line going across. And then I make this like a bullet shape, just like that. I'm going to find another line over here. I'm going to make another bullet shape within that. And then a line going across right here. Okay, down here, I'm going to make some sort of rectangle that goes all the way to the side. Okay, like that. And then another rectangle right here. It goes lower down. From this rectangle, the center of it, I go all the way down. Okay, little diagonal shape. It goes in, similar to how this sort of makes this little bump right here. Okay, make that bump, and then I just bring it up, just like that. And then let me zoom out, and let's do the antenna. So from here, we're just going to bring it up about that far above the head. And then over here, here's a line. I'm going to draw a diamond, a little trapezoid shape, and then another one like that. And then this goes across to there. Okay, a little line going down and goes in and diagonal like that. Okay, and then one more. This goes out and then just up like this. So that is the antenna. Just above here, he's got a diamond or a little triangle going like that on opposite sides of this center line that I had already erased, but two triangles like this. And on this side, he's actually got kill stripes because he paints on his helmet the number of people or number of aliens that he's killed. So I'm just going to draw one and then half of another one just right here. And they're just rectangles that go up and down. And then he's got a very distressed helmet. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cross hatch to make it look like his helmet is beat up and just paint chipping and things like that. So here's just a bunch of cross hatching at random places. And I'm going to do that throughout his armor to give it that worn out look. Okay, so that's what the helmet looks like. Now let's do the body. Okay, from here we'll find the center. In the center we're going to find it right down here. Kind of leans more to the left side, so the left should be narrower than the right. Okay, right here it's fairly straight. Okay, but the neck we're going to just create these lines, these stripes that go across like that on the neck. Okay, right here at this point we bring it in like this, and then we do the same thing on this side. Bring it in like this, a little bit wider. Okay, we go this way to the chest, and then from here it kind of makes this point right here, and then that goes out to there. Okay, I'm going to do that twice, double up on that line, those two lines, give it that depth, that three-dimensionality to it. Okay, right here we're going to draw two rectangles, and they're kind of just stuff that's, I guess it's a strap in the shoulder. I actually don't know what those are. One here and one here. Now, underneath, let's figure out the chest armor. Breastplate, I guess, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so this goes across. Okay, and then right about here, that goes across as well. And what we're going to do is, from this line, I bring that in like this. And then from here, it goes down, and then I bring it in like this as well. So I've got this shape right here, and right around here, sorry, if I draw this line across, this is where it should get narrower. Okay, and this is a good place to end it. So I've made this, almost looks like a square shape, but except this right here gets narrower as you go down. Okay, now let's draw a diamond starting here. It goes like that, and it goes like this. Okay. Now these, we're going to try to make these symmetrical. Okay. Now outline that. The sides, they go like this, and they go this way. But instead of going to the center, we're going to bring that up. And we do the same thing over here. It goes this way, but we bring it down. Okay, to there. Now right about here and here, we're going to create these sides. Okay, and then we're going to find, well, you know what, let's worry about that later on. Let's start at this point now, and we're going to find a spot right here and here. So it goes down in a sort of a triangle, and then find this point, draw a line on each side, just that big, draw the line going across. What we're going to do is this is just going to go up like that. Same thing over here. So it makes this shape. And then what you want to do is you want to just outline from here, outline the top of that, going down almost to the end, but you go over here and you bring that all the way to this point right here. So here goes down, and then this just follows this shape. So there's the chest armor for Boba Fett. Nothing too difficult, it's just got to get those geometric shapes right to make Boba Fett look right, right? Okay, and then let's draw a rectangle in the center of this. He's got some designs, I guess you could say, that's on the chest armor. Right beside this little point right here, I'm going to draw a circle. He's got two rectangles right here. And then right here, he's got a decal. First, we're going to draw a circle. We're not going to go in depth into it, but I'm going to draw a line going diagonal in the center of that circle. Here, he's got something that looks like a number 7. And then over here, looks like a teardrop. Okay, and then I'm just going to draw several lines running down that center line. Okay, and like we did with the helmet, cross hatching just to give it some worn out look. It looks like that. And you just keep going until you're satisfied with it. There you go. All right, so let's work on it's got like a vest underneath this layer of armor. So let's start by finding the bottom of that vest right here. And it sort of runs up right here. And then here it kind of just, well, it does run up as well. So let's do that. It goes up here. But at this point, the vest goes out towards the shoulder. So what I'm going to do is I make this little curve right here, and then the line going across, just like that. And I do the same thing on this side, and it just goes out. I'm just going to make it go across like this. So that's the flak vest, I guess it is. That's what it is. I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to create this seam that just goes like that towards there. And I'm going to run a seam going down the center, or going down the side as well. So it just goes down. Okay, here I just create this layered look, and he's got shoulder pads. So what I'm going to do is a line like that, and it goes down, and it goes out like this, and a little line like this. And then from here, I draw a line going all the way to this point, but then I extend it going down, and then I bring it down like this over here. Okay, and then here I'm going to create a curve that looks like that. Okay, now I bring this, and it just goes into the arm like that. Over here, he's got like the Mandalorian crest, but we don't really see much of it, so we'll leave that. And well, while we're at it, why don't we work on the arm on this side now? The arm, I guess the suit that's underneath the vest, it's got it kind of goes down. It's kind of like got a shirt sleeve right here, but underneath that is another layer. I'm gonna draw 1, 2, 3 lines going across over here, and underneath that is another layer of material, and we're just gonna draw some fold lines right here where the elbow, well, where the bicep ends and where the forearm begins, and it just goes down. We'll see how far down we're going to make this arm go, because he does have a gauntlet right here. Okay, while we're at it, since we're on this side, he does have a cape that runs down from here, sort of just goes over like that, and then we're just gonna bring it out and then in, kind of really random waves, and then from here just goes in like that. So, and then here I'll just bring this out as well. So here we're gonna have a cape. Let's have the cape cover the top part of this shoulder pad. So imagine on this side too, the cape sort of runs down that side. Okay. Here's the belt, just a line for the belt, and it just comes out like this, just underneath the vest, and then about this far down. And this is like an ammo belt, lots of pouches in it. Okay, let's make it go out and then bring it down. And then over here, we'll probably end it right around here, because he does have something else going on over here. And we'll do that, we'll worry about that later on. Let's do the belt first. And let's divide the pouches. So here's one pouch right in the center. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera. Here's one pouch that's right at the center. And then I'm going to draw another one here and another one here. So between each, I'm going to leave a little bit of space. Okay, and leave another one right there. Okay, so here's 3 on this side. And then right here, 1, 2, 3. And this one is just going to be like that. It's narrow, and that's fine. Okay, for each pouch, and I'll show you once, and then I'll do the rest. You do the same thing with the rest. So there's one pouch, and the cover of the pouch kind of goes like this. So think of this as a little flap that covers it, and then it just gets outlined like this. Here's the little top part, and the bottom you don't really see. And then here on the sides, I just draw 2 more lines like that. Okay, let me do it one more time, and then you guys can kind of just figure out how to do the rest. Okay, diagonal, diagonal. Here's the top. So it just looks like that. And here goes across, and then 2 lines. So there's the pouch, and here's kind of just the center of those pouches. These little gaps is where you want the pouch to have a 3-dimensional look to it. Okay, so I'll just observe what I do and try to do the same. Okay, so there you go. This is going to be something different. This is actually a hip pouch, I think that's what it's called. And this just goes out, and then here just goes out like this. And then think of it like a little side bag. It goes like that. Okay, now we have the same thing happening on this side. So imagine this line going straight down to here. Okay, so this line goes down, and imagine a hip pouch going out like this and like that. I'm going to leave it like that. What I'm going to do is got like this belt that has several stripes going across over here, and I'll just leave it to there. Okay, remember this side has the cape right here, so don't forget. I'm just going to draw these lines right here so that we know that there's a cape on this side, but on this side there's none of that cape happening. So while we're here, let's just draw the top of the gauntlet. Goes down, and then right here, just going to simplify it. Line, line, one more little line like this. Okay, several lines going across, 4 of them, circle in the center. And then here we're going to draw a little rocket. And it just looks like that. Okay, and then several lines going down over here. And then here we're just going to draw a narrower line, curve, and then a curve like that. So that's a little side rocket that he's got. Okay, let's draw another scene going down the center of the arm. And that's how you do Boba Fett's, actually let's do another one right here. And then cross hatch it, make it look all beat up and everything, because I don't think Boba Fett really takes good care of his armor. It's not well polished or anything like that. So that's how we're going to leave that. Keep playing with this dumb tape right here. Okay, so let's continue with the other arm now. Now on this side, he's got some braids, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are called Wookiee braids, and they're kind of like a think of it as him hunting down Wookiees. And remember, Wookiees are supposed to be some of the most powerful warriors in the galaxy. That's Boba Fett has hunted down several Wookiees and trimmed their hair to make these braids right here. And we're just going to draw one. So from here, I just draw 2 lines going down, and then as you get to the bottom, a little knot, and then frayed hair looks like that. Okay, so from here, I bring that in, and it goes under in the armpit area. And then I do another one right beside it, goes down, and we're gonna end it right here. There's a little knot, and then there's the hair that's been trimmed. I'm gonna give you guys a simplified version of how to draw those braids. And it's pretty much just diagonal like this. Diagonal like that. It goes diagonal like this. Okay. When you ink it, you want to give those lines some curves or some zigzags that look like this, so that they're rough edges, not really straight. So it looks like that. Over here, we'll just straighten that up. And then we've got the shoulder armor right here. Okay, looks like that, and then this goes across, and then just draw the shoulder like that. So there you go. Oh, I forgot to mention that this little gap right here, I'm going to draw 2 lines going down, one more here, and another one here, and that's just the suit underneath the vest. Okay, so now let's do the arm, which is probably the toughest part of the costume. And let's work on the hand first before anything. So let's do the hand. Okay, I'm going to draw a straight line right here, and that's going to be for the back of the hand. It goes out, and then like that into the rifle, and then goes down like this. Okay, and then I do the same thing. I'll start over here, goes across, and then down this way, and then here goes across, and it goes down slightly more diagonal than the other 2. Okay, these are going to be individual fingers. There's the middle finger, this is the middle finger, this is the ring finger, and this is going to be the pinky. So it goes like this, a little V right there, goes across, and another little V right there. And then here, just make this, that's the side of the hand. Now go back over here, and I just curve that in. So it looks like that. Now I draw a line from here going up, and then goes along the side of the pinky to the tip. I draw this little line here, and then another one here, and another one here. And there you go. Okay, right here is going to be the thumb. Goes across, and then changes direction like this. Let's draw the thumb as an oval. So it looks like that. And then at the tip of the oval, it just kind of goes up like that. Okay, and draw another line right here. All right, now the pinky, or sorry, the index finger is going to come out this way at a diagonal. And then it goes like this. Now imagine him holding, having his finger on the trigger. So we're going to have to draw a trigger right there. Draw another line going across like that. Okay, so there's Boba Fett's hand, and he'll be holding this rifle. So let's work around the fingers and start shaping that rifle. Okay. So let's start over here with the trigger. Line, 2 lines going across, and they go in like that. Okay, and then right here I'm going to draw an oval like this, and the trigger is going to be like this moon shape right here. So his finger is going to be on that trigger right there. I'm not going to add too much detail into the gun because that would take forever, but here at the top we're going to draw a line going across. Over here this goes down, and draw another one going down like this. Goes out, and then like this. So you have this little square shape right here. Okay, from here, I draw a line going down. And then I draw this little rectangle. Okay, go back over here. Line going across. Another line going across. It's narrow and it gets wider and it gets wider until you have this point. Okay. Make this squarish looking shape with a little rectangle right here. And then this just goes straight up. Once you reach the top, it goes in, straight line, and then like a little cannon. It looks like that. Okay, and then several lines from here going all the way up top. Line across there. Like that. Okay, I'll add more detail to that when I ink. Okay, draw a little rivet right there, a little rectangle here, and then a square or rectangle inside. Okay, let's do this part of the gun. Starting from the thumb, I just draw a little diagonal shape going out and then down. Okay, this goes down as well. Okay, right here, it goes back up and goes up like that. So you create this shape right here. I do this one again like that. Okay, close that off. Now right here, it goes in and then down. And then here kind of just goes across like that. You want to follow the same, this and this should be like the same angle. Okay, half a circle right here, a circle right here, and then this just goes all the way down to there. Okay, this goes out to there. From here, just create this shape going all the way to there. Okay, 2 lines, remember, following this angle, 2 lines there and there, and just a rectangle with a circle inside. And there is Boba Fett's little rifle. I apologize if it was too fast, but please feel free to pause the video and just observe how I did it. Okay, right here, here's the wrist. I'm going to draw the wrist now. And then we're going to draw the gauntlet. The gauntlet goes up to here. So I just create this little curve. Like that. All right, so now let's work on the gauntlet. Starting right here, I'm going to draw a little line and then 2 lines going down and sort of goes past the gauntlet to there. Okay, this one, there's another thing that sticks out of it right here. And then here is like 2 hoses that come out. Okay, so I'm going to draw the little spout for those hoses just right there. Okay, now this goes to the side, bring it up slightly, and then angled line, and it goes across. And right around here, you bring that in, and then goes up to the top. Okay, another little line like this, and you create this little square, but these 2 lines are not, they're not parallel to each other. This is at an angle, this kind of goes across. Okay, another little triangle on top of that, and then this just goes into the wrist like that. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle here on the side, and over here, it's like it looks like this little curve, 2 curves sticking out, and then they end off right there, and then here's another spout for more hoses coming out of it. Okay, make this look all beat up and everything. Oh yeah, forgot to mention he's got 2 lines right here and here. So that's that, you guys. Okay, so we have these 3 to worry about, but before we do that, let's do the arm. Here's the, like this thing right here on this side, just comes out like this, and then into the, going in like that. Here's a seam, and then remember we do 1, 2, 3 lines. Okay, and underneath that is another layer. Here's the elbow. Okay, it goes in like that, and then from here again, it goes to there. So that's what that looks like. Okay, remember right here we've also got a seam going down. I'm Gonna draw some wrinkles right here as well. Okay, right here is just a seam right there. And now all we have to worry about are the hoses, and they just go down to the bottom, and they go behind the arm, so we don't really worry about it. So it just goes like this, and this one will make it go this way. It goes down to the elbow and to the back of the arm. And then here, same thing. Just gonna bring that down and then in like that. And there you have it, you guys. That was definitely the most difficult part of this tutorial. But that's it. That is how you draw Boba Fett from Star Wars. I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a happy Star Wars Day. And that is all the time that we have for this tutorial. Thank you for watching all the way to the very end. I hope your drawings turned out great. If you guys are proud of your drawings, I would love to see them. So please go over to the Google Plus community and post your artwork there, or head on to Instagram and tag me in any of your art so that we can see it and so everyone can see it and we can all enjoy your masterpieces. If you guys are curious about the equipment that I use to make these videos or to do my tutorials, I have links to those in the description below. Clicking on those links helps to ensure that content creators like myself are supported so that we can continue making good stuff like this for you guys free of charge. If you feel like being extra generous and you want to support this channel even more, I now have links to my art store down below, draw2.storenvy.com. Plus I have links to merchandise that you can buy, such as t-shirts, mugs, and mouse pads with the Draw2 logo on them. And I now have a Patreon page, so if you guys feel like supporting me on Patreon, I have a link to that down below as well. If this is your first time here, I would love to have you guys subscribe. Like I said in the beginning, here in this channel, I show you how to draw your favorite characters in easy to follow, simple step-by-step instructions. So if you guys like what you see, please hit that subscribe button below. If you guys did enjoy this tutorial, it would help me a great deal if you guys liked this video, commented below, or shared this with your friends in your social media. And speaking of social media, don't forget you guys can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and on my website, draw2.com, where you can find a coloring page of this tutorial, plus all the other tutorials that I have in this channel. Again, you guys, all of those links are found down in the description below. Again, thank you one more time, and as always, stay tuned for more so you can learn to draw too. I'll see you guys in my next video.